right? 3a times a gives the 3a squared, and then 4 times 2 produces the 8. Now, where did the 10a come from? Well, when I multiply the two outer terms together, 3a times 2 is, well, it's going to be 6a. Yeah, 3a times 2, because you're going to say 2 times 3, which is 6, and then just tag the 8 on next to it. So don't mess with any exponent here. 6x. All right? Now we've got to deal with the two inner terms, 4 times a. All right? That's going to be 4a. And so, what is 6a plus 4a? It's 10a. And so that's where that 10a came from. You add the numerical coefficients. And I notice that's not 10a squared, is it? No. Don't add exponents together. When you're combining like terms, all you do is add the numerical coefficients. You don't mess with exponents here. All right. Number 2. Let's see how you did on number 2. All right. Yeah, plus 3. All right. Now, some of you guys, as I graded your homework, and I didn't really count this in anything off for this. As you did FOIL here, if you worked it out, a great many of you may have gotten this as your answer. 7x plus 2x squared plus 3. It's really not wrong. I understand what happened because the way the terms were jumbled up here in the problem. You know, if this expression here had been x plus 3, it would have been a little bit different, I think. But it's not. So you did the FOIL method, you collected your terms, 2x squared ended up in the middle, and you know, really the order of the terms is not going to affect really the accuracy of the answer. If I knew the value of x, you know, these two expressions here and here are going to come out to the same number. I just want to let you know that it is more, the standard way to phrase these problems is in descending order as far as the variable is concerned, x. You want this in a descending situation, x squared x, and then you've got the constant term at the end. That's the standard format, or how you should format an answer. So if you get your answer like this, just rearrange the order of the terms, format it so that the highest exponent on the variable, the 2x squared, is the least term. I'm not going to count off on if you do this, but some college professors just might if you don't order the terms right. Okay? So, but this, anybody have anything other than this stuff? No? So are we good on this? All right. Let's move down to number 3. Number 3. Mine's 12. That's good, Tiffany. Okay. Did anybody get anything different? Trust me, please ask questions. Right here. Did you get a plus 12 there? Okay. That's another common mistake. Look at the answer on number 3. Make sure you keep up with the signs on the terms. A plus 4 and a minus 3. When you multiply those together to get the last term, great many people would probably get 12, but whether or not you got the sign right would be another issue. It should be a minus 12, okay? And you should put that as minus 12. Don't tell me plus a negative 12. They're technically the same thing, but you know, your final answer should be in the simplest form possible that you could express it. And having two signs in here, a plus and then a negative, is not the simplest way to express your answer. Okay? It's just not. They're saying the same thing. Because remember, all subtraction is the addition of negative numbers. I understand that. But when you're formatting your answer, putting it in the simplest form means let's just have one sign, either a plus or minus, in front of the term. The appropriate sign. Now, what about the middle terms? Everybody see how we got the positive 10a? How do we get the 10a? Well, first of all, Frederick, let's look at this. What's 2a times a negative 3? Negative 6a, right? Negative 6a. What is 4 times 4a? 16a. Okay? So, if you got a negative 22a or a positive 22a, anything 22a, that means you didn't combine your numeric coefficients properly, right? It can be a little confusing when you put a negative 6 plus 16 in that order, but it means the same thing as 16 minus 6. Okay? That's where if you combine a negative 6 with a positive 16, it gives you the plus 10. If it helps you create a number line, and remember, don't mess with the exponents on A. Like terms, you're putting them together under the order of operation or under addition. Just mess with the numeric coefficient. But if you're having trouble, how does a negative 6 and a positive 16, if you need a pictorial representation of what's going on, then just create a number line. Identify some place on it, let's say over here as a negative 6. And to go 16 units, to add 16 units, you're going to be moving to the right, correct? So if you move 16 units of the number line all the way over, then that's going to place you over here. Eventually, at this number, a positive 10. You're going to cross the origin, 0, continue on. And so that's why you get a plus 10a here, okay? All right, number 4. Let's look at number 4. All right. You got to get anything different? Yeah.
Yeah, I got 21.
21 and 3. Okay.
I got 3.
Yeah. All right. Now let's look at this. Everybody's attention, please. Okay. Yeah. Let's worry about your Spanish homework in Spanish class. Griff, did you get this?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you do this?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
So we gave all this time for you to do problems 1 through 5, and you haven't done it yet.
I'm just going to work it out. I'll still like write down the answer.
It's even being recorded. Okay. Now,
I'm going to watch.
12b squared minus 22b minus 4. Where did the minus 4? It needs it to be a minus 4 because what we're saying here is for the last term, let's talk about this first, okay? It's not a plus 1 minus 4. It's a plus 1 times the negative 4. All right? And that's where the negative 4 came from. But it's a careless mistake that can be made. See, plus 1 minus 4, well, that's a negative 3. Yeah, when you add them together, but we're multiplying. The middle term, where did that negative 22b come from? Well, what's the product of your two outer terms? Look at this. What's the product of my two outer terms? What is 6b? What is 6b times the negative 4? Negative 24b. Okay? Product of my two inner terms. Product of my two inner terms. What is that going to be? Plus 2b? Okay? Okay. So it's so what do we get? A negative 22 therefore, right? Negative 22b, and that's where the negative 22b in the middle. Does everybody see where the first term came from? Any issue there? All right, number 5. Okay? Now, 10c squared plus 9cd plus 2d squared. Mr. Lord, what'd you get? On number 5. Yeah. I got basically going to work out. What'd you get instead of 9cd? I forgot how you. What did you get? What did you get as your answer on number 5? So you didn't get to number 5?
No, I got number 5. I didn't put it down.
You didn't put the middle down?
Right, I know how to do
No.
Still working on it? Stancy, what'd you get? Why you laughing at the man? What'd you get?
I did.
Let me see. Let me see. What's your favorite? Why didn't you do number 3 though? Okay, now. I'm not sure yet. Just start on page 21 and probably do through number 14. Yeah. Okay. Let me say this, Stancy. You're not the only one who's done this, okay? But I want to use your paper. Can I do that? It's not to pick on you because you're not the only one who's done this. But guys, when you write 10c squared, you may know what you mean, and I know what you mean, but you can confuse yourself, and you can confuse the teacher too. That 2 on the C, that is a superscript. That's what it's called versus a subscript. You know, where it'd be like below the letter. You need to write that small. If you write 10c squared like that, okay, you're not only going to confuse yourself eventually, because that looks like 10c kind of times 2 sort of in a sloppy way, right? Don't do that. 2 is supposed to be a superscript, not a coefficient. And I know that you're thinking that. But when it looks like a coefficient instead of a superscript, okay. But you got the right answer. You just didn't do number 3 like you said. Wow. You're smart, man. You got number 3. That's right. All right. Now. All right. Look at number 11 here. Now you're not exactly using FOIL here, but you're using the concept that FOIL describes. All FOIL is a way, a mnemonic device to help you remember how to do the distributive property, because that's all that's happening here. With 1 through 5, all these expressions where you're multiplying a binomial times a binomial, everything in the first set of the parentheses by everything in the second. FOIL just helps you to properly use the distributive property. Okay? That's all it does. 5c times 2c, 5c times d, 2d times 2c, 2d times d. That's all you're doing here is using your distributive property. Now, keeping that in mind, that's what's happening here in these problems like number 11, where you have a trinomial times a trinomial, or if you have a trinomial times a bi, whatever. It's everything in the first set of the parentheses times everything in the second. So what you do here in working this out, it's very similar to these other ones, 1 through 5, and the rest of them that are a bi times a bi, is you multiply the A times the A times the B, A times the negative C. You just have to, it's the same process, but since there's 3 terms in each set of parentheses, you got to do more work. Then B times the first, B times the second, B times the third. And what do you think is going to happen with C? Same thing, right? Let me change colors here to make it a little easier to see. With C times the first, times the second, times the third. All right? I ain't never heard Cam talk like that. Okay. All right. So what do we have here? If I multiply this out systematically, I'm going to get a squared. Then I'm going to get plus ab. Then minus ac. Don't forget your negatives. Move to the middle term. ab again. Don't put ba. Keep them in alphabetical order, the variable. You're going to have plus ab plus b squared, and then minus bc, right? Y'all see that? That takes care of a and b times all this. Now c times a. That's going to be plus, not ca, but let's have ac. Let's keep this in alphabetical order. ac. Then, not c times b. Let's not put cb. Let's put bc. alphabetical order. Positive C times a negative C, negative C squared. Now, as you do this, you're going to see that there's some terms that will combine into bigger terms. Others may cancel. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at the ACs here. They're going to end up canceling out. It looks like the BCs are going to cancel out. But it looks like your ABs are going to combine into a 2AB. So don't throw your ABs away. You can throw your ACs and your BCs away. But ABs are both positive, so you're going to get a 2AB there. So it looks like what your answer is going to end up being on this one should be, I'm going to write it like this, A squared plus B squared minus, anyone? Minus, there you go, minus C squared, and then plus 2AB. That's okay, you speak up. You call up mom and dad. This is Dan's performance in the class.
That's how I remember it.
Good. And I want you to remember. All right. Okay. I'm going to stop it here.